Hello and welcome to another episode of the Digital Painter Vidcast. My name's Terry Daniel Jakimiak II, and this is the Digital Painter. This week we're going to be answering a question that came up on one of my YouTube videos. Well, it's not really a question, I guess it was more of a request, but I had somebody write in and essentially say, they're trying to learn how to draw professional looking handbags. And honestly, I've never drawn handbags before, so I thought, okay, this could be interesting. And they were wondering, how do you deal with things like curves and loops and stitching and things like that, specifically in Sketchbook Pro 7. Now, I've got Sketchbook Pro, but I'm up to 8 now, so that's what I'm going to be using. And we're going to take a look and see if I can give any insight here. So here we go. I've got my setup. If you don't have Sketchbook Pro, a quick note on this. Sketchbook Pro is pretty nice. It's $25 a year. It's a good program. I like it better for actual digital painting type stuff or marker work because of the way they work their markers. So if you're doing either of those types of things, sketching and marker work, it works really well for that. I'm going to scroll up here and I'm just going to grab, actually, is this the one I want? Nope. That'll work, I suppose. Yeah, okay. I'm so picky with my pencils. We'll start with that, see if I like it. All right, so I've downloaded an image, and it's a red handbag. And again, I've never really drawn handbags before. And you'll see there is some stitching right along the edge here. The reason I got it is because it's got a lot of little details that we can kind of play with. And of course, it's got curves. And curves, for anybody that is either new to drawing or still working on the ability to draw organic elements like curves, you know that it can be difficult. I, myself, am terrible at curves. I like to use a lot of different tools to help me create curves, and Sketchbook really has some things that can help you immensely with that. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to do a quick sketch of our handbag, and I'm just kind of looking at this one, and I'm like, all right. Now, when I sketch, I'll let you know right now, I tend to do an outline. Woo, spinning too fast. Do an outline of it initially, and that was not the spinning I wanted. These are not the spinnings you're looking for. And I do this on a single layer. And I'm actually drawing on the wrong layer, so I'm actually going to undo. This is the image layer that I thought I had locked. There, it's now locked. See, now you see I can't draw on it. This is the layer I wanted to be on. Yes, I do oftentimes make mistakes. So we're just kind of getting a sense of what this handbag looks like right now. It's a nice little handbag. If I carried handbags, I would probably have this handbag. I have no idea who makes it, so please don't write in the comments, so who makes that handbag? I'll be like, I have no idea. But it's very nice, and red's my color, so well, it's one of my colors. Now, honestly, as we're working through this, I have not used Sketchbook Pro in a while, so some of the shortcut keys might confuse me. But the reason for that is because I've been using other tools like Photoshop and ArtRage and Procreate. I really love Procreate. So one of the things I've noticed right now is I'm really enjoying this texture. And again, this is a quick sketch initially. You notice I'm not being very careful on my curves right now. I'm going to show you a tool inherent in Sketchbook that makes drawing curves really nice. Now, I'm not going to follow this image exactly because, my understanding from reading the message was that you are designing or learning how to design handbags or want to learn how to design handbags. So, we don't have to be extremely perfect here, right? We can be kind of, sort of perfect. I know that makes absolutely no sense. Now, if you're doing this at home, if you're designing handbags, I'm assuming you know exactly what you want, or you've brainstormed things, that sort of thing. This is actually kind of fun. After the week I've had, this is relaxing. Okay, let's see. So we need to finish out these handles, I think. Now this is the part that I tend to go, and when I'm doing my sketches, I don't necessarily care that it's perfect. Oops. Whoa! That's not what I wanted. Like, for example, I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull these out like this. And this is where, you know, have a little fun when you're sketching. Don't be so dogmatic that you're worrying, oh my gosh, it's not perfect. There we go. And of course, these will have thickness when I actually do my outline here in a second. Okay, then we look on the back side, we see that it comes down kind of like that. And on this side, it comes in like that. Pull that up a little bit. And maybe I'm thinking, wouldn't it be cool if it had like a little pocket here? I don't know, that's just my feeling. This is where I'm starting to take my own liberties, as it were. Okay, we're not going to put on that side handle right now. We do have to kind of, you know, the idea that this does sink in a little bit like that. All right, so we have our initial sketch, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new layer. I'm actually going to put it below that layer. I'm going to take layer 2, I'm going to reduce the opacity. And now here's where some of the specialness comes in. You can use whatever tools you want. I was playing with this earlier to try and remember some of the things, and I'm using this tool right here. Gives me a nice black line. If I press really hard, it's a little thicker. Okay. But up here we have our toolbars. And again, this is for the people that actually own Sketchbook Pro. And you'll see this one right here. This is the steady stroke, and this tool can help you with your curves. If you look, you know, I cannot draw perfect circles. I'm getting better, but I don't do perfect circles. I don't always do perfect curves. You know, I am definitely an amateur when it comes to that stuff. So if I'm doing something technical like this, there's a lot of different tools that can help. This is one. To show you what this does, when I start to draw, see the blue dotted line? And I can do nice, even curves with it, okay? Or I can grab my French curve, which has multiple different types of curves. And the way this works is I can draw right along the curve. So if I were to use something like this, I'd find a French curve that I like. So say this one's not too bad. I'd rotate it, and then move it. Try and match it up with my actual curve here. And then you can see here, I can do that. And then I'd move it over to get the thickness for it. Okay. I'm showing you that because I'm not using that tool. So that's one way, is with the French curves. I'm not using the French curves. Instead, I'm going to use this tool here. Again, this is the steady stroke. Now, I'm only going to use this for the curves because I don't, when I do straight lines, I don't really need them. So I start here at this point. I come back down, boom, and then I'll do the other one. And pull it back in, doink, and then maybe I'll do it over here for this, and for that. And then probably in here for this and for that. I don't like that second one, so I'll come back in. I don't like that one either. There we go. I do like that one. Let's see, some of the other curves we have is this one. Doink. And a doink. I'm telling you, this is going to be a pretty handbag. And then follow that curve here. And then probably I'd do this. Whoop. And oops, I need to go higher, I see. All right, well, I can bring those down later. Whoop. And then whoop. Okay. Now I'm going to turn it off so that I can do some of my straight lines. Now, if you don't think you can do the straight lines, you can continue to use it. So if I move over here, I can turn it on. You can see it does really nice straight lines. I'm not gonna argue with that. Zoom in a little bit. Now, one of the things you'll notice, you can adjust this 57. That's the distance between your blue dotted line and your actual ink. See, I don't like it right now for that, so I'll just come in here and manually. For short curves, I tend to draw my own curves. And again, for straight lines, I tend to draw my own. Now, some of the other programs have similar tools, like Art Rage. If you're using the pen, if you remember, there's a smoothing setting that works really well. Oops. Now, one of the things I like the feeling of hand-drawedness, which probably isn't a word, and I'm making that up as I talk here. So, you know, if it's not perfect, it doesn't bother me. If I'm drafting something, I'm not hand drawing, and so I'm probably using a different tool. Give that a little thickness, a little curvedness. There we go. Gotta finish these up, right? Boink and boink. Boink and boink. A lot of boinks going on in this one, in this tutorial. Oh, I do want to say thank you to everybody who has commented that they enjoy my random blathering. I appreciate that. So the blathering will indeed continue, which I'm okay with. Oh, I forgot my box down here. We can't forget my box. Boink, 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 and boink. You notice that I did go over. The great things with digital is you can then erase. So now if I were to turn off my pencil layer, you can see we're starting to get a nice feel here. The comment was about stitching, right? So for stitching, let's say along this edge here, a lot of that's going to be your line work. And oftentimes what I'll do is I'll actually go pretty small for something like that. Just checking. Let's see, what am I at? I want to get up to 1, I think. There we go. And that's just, you know, that is patience. And practice. Which I have neither of right now. Let me look again. Oh, the stitching along here. Oof. So one thing I would say, if you're doing something small, definitely zoom in like this. But be prepared to zoom back out, right? Because you need to be able to see both what it looks like up close as well as what it looks like far, far away. A long, long time ago, I didn't know all the words to this song, so I just made up my own. The day the music died. As always, if you have questions, comments, concerns, worries, problems, major malfunctions, feel free to leave me a message. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can leave it in the comments. I may not answer right away, but I will try to answer as quickly as possible. Otherwise, if you're on the website, you can email me or you can leave a comment on the post. And if you're watching this on YouTube, the website is www.thedigitalpainter.com. Looks like we need a little bit of stitching along the bottom. And along this bottom. This is kind of fun. I have to say I'm kind of enjoying doing this. I've never tried doing a handbag like this. Oh, I know. Yes. So along like this edge. Oof, that's terrible. Let's zoom in a little bit. This is where my zooming in comes in. Now what I'm doing here literally is I'm just sliding my hand across and tapping my pen down as I go. I find a decent speed and just kind of go with it. Oops. Undo. And we're just making ants down the line. I'll zoom back out. I gotta do the top up here. And like anything else, it just takes practice. So let's turn off our underlayer. And look, we're starting to get a handbag, right? Now, a lot of times what I'll do is on a layer even underneath that, I will grab my marker tool, and that's not the one I want, so I'm going to go up here and grab this one. And you can come in and shadow in some of this. I take my gray up a little bit. So, and this is just like before you begin your coloring of it, just to give it a little bit of depth. And you can see just those little additions starts to give this the feeling of three-dimensionality. And then, of course, I can't stop there. I grab my big one, right? And we turn our image. Or maybe not. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. Oof, too much. Let's zoom out a little bit. And let's actually, I'm going to switch back to this one because I can always make this bigger. Yeah, there we go. And we're just giving this a little bit of dimension. Just to kind of and again, I'm doing this on a different layer, so if I need to erase like I did right there, I'm not erasing my ink drawing. There we go. So let's zoom out and let's look at not a fully finished product, but something that we can kind of hang our hat on. And there we go. We've got the beginnings of our handbag, and you can see the stitching. And if you think the shadowing's too high, you can always take the opacity of that layer down a little bit. There we go. And then you can continue, I mean, if you wanted to, you could then continue in shading on that layer, just to kind of, again, to give it, it's about depth, right? Because that's how we see 3 dimensions. I could bring this up a little bit for lighter shadows. Okay. Again, just trying to give it a little bit of Alright, so that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed. Again, name's Terry Dana Jakumak II. I'm the digital painter. I love doing this stuff. If you have something that you want me to kind of go over, let me know. If you're looking to make handbags, this is one way to do it. Again, this is Autodesk Sketchbook Pro 8. That's the program that you've watched this week. So, all right, take care. I hope you are enjoying your art. And I hope that, you know, as we go through this wacky adventure together, that you pick up a thing or two. All right. Have a wonderful weekend and take care.